Let's look at the player fees section of the finance page in Tournament Manager. You should fill out this section before any other section of finance. Be sure to use the tooltips if you need any clarification. Fill out the gross entry fee with the raw value each player has to pay in order to compete in the tournament. The PDGA fee will be pre-filled and should not need to be edited. Fill out the Other Fees column with the per-player cost of your pass-through fees. Approved pass-through fees are listed in the Tour Standards section of the PDGA Competition Manual. These are TD fee, facility rental, restroom rental, series fee if you're part of a series, and charity donation if this is an approved charity event. The gross entry fee minus the PDGA fee minus the other fees equals the net entry fee per player. The net entry fee times the number of players in each division is the net entry purse. The net entry purse is the critical value for all further payout calculations. The payout requirements for each tier level are based on net entry purse. For professional divisions, this must be met with cash payout. For amateur divisions, this can be met with a combination of player packs and prizes. The Player Packs and Prizes section collects information on player packs, trophies, and other prizes. For amateur divisions, player packs count towards the total purse. Fill out the retail value of the player pack for each player. The net entry fee purse minus the player pack deduction leaves the remaining portion of the purse that is to be paid out in prizes at the end of the competition. If we look back at the summary page, we see the net entry fee purse minus the player's pack deduction leaves us with the leftover portion for payout. For true amateur events, the math still works the same, but you can just make your player pack deduction large enough that it drives the remaining prize purse to 0. You may choose to give player packs to professional players, but that value does not count toward their purse. The player pack deduction for professionals is always 0. You can also add values for trophies and other prizes like CTPs that were available to all players as part of their entry fee. The Added Cash and Value section is where you can add additional value or deductions from your total purse. If you have a sponsorship that you will be using for payout, enter it on this page. The added cash is divided proportionally among the professional divisions based on the number of players in each division. The PDGA Tour Standards require a certain percentage of net entry fee purse be awarded back to the players. C tiers require 85% of the purse to be paid, so you can even deduct up to 15% of the purse. This page shows the maximum allowable deduction to stay above 85%. B tiers do not allow deductions of this sort, and A tiers require value to be added. Tournament Manager will show the required amount of added cash and prizes. Now that we've settled our fees, player packs, and added or deducted prize, it is time to set the payouts for the top finishers of the competition. In the Payouts section, navigate to your first division. In the Payouts page for an amateur division, we once again see our net entry purse, the player pack deduction, and the added prize value that we entered on the Added Cash and Value page. The PDGA Tour Standards sets a minimum percentage of the field that you must award prizes, but you can choose to pay more players if you wish. Most TDs choose to leave this at the default value. The suggested payout amounts are shown below. You can use the suggested values, choose to round those values to the closest $5, or manually create adjusted payouts. These payout amounts add up to the same value as our total prize purse. If you enter adjusted payouts, Tournament Manager will keep track of the total amount you have paid and compare it to the prize purse. If you leave the payouts as the suggested values and don't type anything into the adjustment column, then the payouts will dynamically change if new players register for the division or if players in the division withdraw and are removed from Tournament Manager. In the payout page for a professional division, we see our net entry purse and added prize value. Professional divisions do not show player pack value since player packs do not count toward payout for professional players. Otherwise, this is set up the same as the amateur divisions. After you have reviewed the payouts, you should publish the projected payouts. The PDGA Tour standards require that you publish the projected payouts at least before the final round begins, but you can publish them as early as you want so your players will know what they are competing for. The projected payouts will be shown on the PDGA results page as well as the PDGA live page. When players have submitted scores for their final round, the payouts page will change to show the player names next to their prize value. Ties will automatically have their prize split. If an amateur player places in the cash in a professional division, you have the option to allow them to accept merchandise instead of cash by clicking the Decline and Accepted Merch checkboxes. Players are required to have a PDGA number in order to accept cash in a professional division. If a player does not have a PDGA number, Tournament Manager will automatically decline cash for that player and move the payout down a spot. Review the payouts and click Publish in each division to finalize the payouts and publicly display the cash prizes for professional players. You need to publish the payouts for all professional divisions before you can submit the event report.